We are truly honored to have our esteemed guests with us today, including Father Jorge Naranjo, Principal and Chairman of the Board of Trustees at Comboni College of Science and Technology, Federico Chiodi, Director of AISPO, Friedablu Danè, Country Representative of AISPO in Sudan. We are waiting for Michele Morana, Director of AISPO. Hope he arrives soon. And also Luca Rapone, Charge d'Affaires, Italian Embassy to Sudan. Thank you all for joining us.
Sorry, but the Morana is a Director of Italian Cooperation, not AISPO.
AIX.
AIX, yes.
Yes. So thank you so much, and we can start. Please, Father Jorge.
Yeah, benvenuti tutti. Good afternoon, welcome. I am just going to share some slides to remind from where we come from. And this project, which has been very particular for many reasons, started in Khartoum in June 22, when we started our Bachelor in Nursing Sciences. Some of the particularities of this new program were the fact of introducing the mentorship tutorship model for clinical practice. That was something new at the time in Sudan, and this was done thanks to the training of some Vita San Raffaele University from Milan. Another characteristic of the bachelor degree was and is to train people under this perspective, evidence-based approach to science. The holistic approach, which is proper of palliative care, we wanted to enlighten all the approach of the program. In palliative care, you consider the psychological, the sociological, the spiritual, the physiological dimension of the person. The same should also enlighten our approach to nursing. The teaching methodology has been very student-centered. This has been important for us. And mainly practice-oriented. Our students spend many hours in the nursing skills lab, but also in the hospitals. Another aspect we wanted to tackle with this bachelor degree, there is a communication gap. Normally in the hospitals, doctors are prescribing in English, and nurses normally are not able to speak in English. So this is why also we try to insist on the question of English language. And then we also want to train nurses for Sudan, not for the Gulf. This is our intention. And this means also to instill certain values as the service to the community. And this was done from the very beginning in coordination with the Comboni Palliative Care Volunteers Group that were having their field of action in the outskirts of Khartoum, Omdurman, and Bahri. Some weeks before the war, the building for the Faculty of Nursing was not so far. You can see in this photo where you also see the other buildings. But then on the 15th of April, the war started, and our premises became a battlefield from the first day. And 3 months after the beginning of the war, we already asked the students, not just of nursing, but for all the programs, if they were willing to resume studies in spite of the war. At that moment, as you can see, for nursing, 33 answered yes, 27 answered no. But after this question, the Ministry of Higher Education closed the door for universities to resume activities. Even though we continued tracking the situation of our students, you can see how many of them moved. Of course, when before the war, 100% of them were in Sudan, in Khartoum state, sorry. Some months after the beginning of the war, just 19% of them remained in Khartoum state. This percentage diminished to 7.7 and increased after the moment in which the rapid support forces entered Al Jazeera, Wad Medani. And that city, Wad Medani, the biggest number of our students of the nursing program and also the staff had taken refuge. So in those months, Dr. Halma, Mohammed Uthman, Ahmed Al-Balla, Wala, they were still continuing working with the volunteers, involving some of the students who had started with us in Khartoum. Then we also met our people scattered in Juba, in Cairo. In Juba, I also met Federico, Chiodi, and it was there that for AISPO, or because AISPO, the Italian Cooperazione, prefer to spend the remaining money of the project rather than concluding the process. So we redesigned the project to continue. First idea was from Medani. On the 15th of October, the Minister of Higher Education published a decree that allowed universities to resume their work online, and it was encouraging us also to resettle in safe places. So our first idea was to have the administration here in Port Sudan, but with some premises in Wadi Medani. So we started developing, with the help of the IT team, this kind of learning management system based on Moodle. Managed from here. We had at that moment 21 lecturers outside Sudan, but all of us working together with the students through the learning management system. For the case of nursing, another challenge, in addition to those related to the low connectivity, financial problems of the students, lack of electricity, was the question that clinical practice was supposed to be in place, face to face. Once rapid support forces invaded Medani, our nursing staff moved to Port Sudan thanks to the project. But also, every time there's a period of clinical practice, our students are coming from all these places. So they have to go through checkpoints from the different armies. And some of them, they take hours, some of them, they take days. We will listen later the testimony of one of our students who needed 15 days to reach Port Sudan through the different checkpoints. All of them who tried to come here managed, except for 2 who are in Al-Fasher. So when they tried to pass the checkpoint of rapid support forces, they were stolen and not allowed to continue. So then in April, last April, we organized 3 physical exams, or 3 locations for physical exams in Juba, here in Port Sudan, Helwan in Egypt, and for other students scattered all over Uganda, South Sudan, Egypt, Gulf countries, they sat for the exam online. After this experience, that was the conclusion of the second semester of the 2023 academic year, the year interrupted by the war, we decided to shift to all online. So from that moment on, all our exams are online, and we engage a proctoring company to ensure the safety of the exams. Let me see. Once our nursing team moved to Port Sudan, we could also interact with the local community. And the activity we started in Khartoum of training volunteers in palliative care was resumed here in Port Sudan. Some training sessions took place in our nursing lab, some others in the respective locations of the communities who were inviting us for this training. So now we have a kind of network of more than 200 volunteers who are in coordination with the hospice, the nursing clinic. This palliative care hospice nursing clinic is the first of its nature in Sudan for two reasons. One, because it is not registered under the name of a medical doctor. It is registered under the name of a nurse. And this is the first time, as far as we know, it happens in the Republic of Sudan. And the second original point is that it's a hospice. By hospice, we do not intend a kind of building where we have beds for people who are with chronic or terminal diseases, but it is rather the hub, the connect point from where the nursing team and the volunteers go to the community to help them in accompanying these persons with terminal and chronic diseases. So these images are from the last meeting where there were volunteers coming from all these training sessions and their respective locations where they. The project also trained 261 health professionals. They were introduced into palliative care. Some of them completed the full course we have approved by the Ministry of Higher Education as a continuous education program for health professionals. In other cases, it was the kind of short introduction in the respective hospital. So we were invited by the Oncological Center, Usman Digna Hospital, Port Sudan General Hospital, Port Sudan Teaching Hospital. There was a group of health professionals from An-Nahud who also invited us. Even the military hospital, where our team could see all the wounded people brought here as a consequence of the different battles, and also Al-Mawani. So this is a bit our background, or a quick summary of the project, even though we will see also, we will watch the video in a short time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Yes, now I share the video. And it is also a summary of the project. Since April 15, 2023, Sudan has faced a violent internal conflict devastating the nation. Over 14 million people have been displaced inside the country or took refuge in the neighboring countries. The conflict has led to widespread destruction and a severe humanitarian crisis that has made the health and educational systems collapse and left millions in urgent need of aid. The support of the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation and the coordinated efforts of the Italian Association for Solidarity Among People and Comboni College of Science and Technology led the project Nursing Sciences at Comboni College, Inclusive Teaching for Marginalized Christian Minorities to its conclusion, in spite of the war. The bachelor degree in nursing sciences at Comboni College started in June 2022. The Comboni Palliative Care Group continued also accompanying families with patients having terminal and chronic diseases in the outskirts of Khartoum, Omdurman, and Bahri. Both activities were disrupted by the war that displaced college students, lecturers, and the staff. In December 2023, the project was ready to resume from Wad Madani, but the invasion of the Rapid Support Forces caused the project to be resettled in Port Sudan. In January 2024, the course resumed for the students of the second semester from the new location. Some months later, more students joined until reaching 74 students, which were supported by 16 lecturers and the staff through online theoretical contents from their place of refuge and through in-person practical training in Port Sudan. For many of them, reaching Port Sudan was not easy at all.
These students came from everywhere, all over Sudan, to come to this course. And in my head, I keep thinking, what is it that happened in Khartoum that they wanted to come and to continue the Bachelor of Science in Nursing with Comboni? It is because of the care, consideration, respect, and the newness of the model of nursing that we were presenting to them, that they see that there was something really amazing in this. For them to travel from all their different areas in Sudan through places where the RSF was, some of them were arrested, some of them were put in prison on their way here. There are stories about this.
كان بيتنا يوم 2/11. وصلت هنا يوم 21/11. أخذت 19 يوم في الشارع. من المشاكل اللي واجهتني وأنا جاية هنا اتوقفت أكثر من مرة. تعرضت لحاجات كثيرة، تعرضت لمساءلات من قبل الدعم السريع قبل ما أطلع من الخرطوم. أخذت 12 يوم في حتة اسمها مدوم بان. منعوني إنه أنا أطلع. لما حنت لي الفرصة وطلعت، أخذت يومين في الشارع على بال ما وصلت شندي. لما وصلت شندي كملت يومين برضو. لما وصلت بور السودان تعرضت برضو لمساءلة إنه أنا ما مفروض أدخل وأبو يدخلوني.
When I was a little boy, actually, I found the nurses that working here in Sudan, they were really dealing the patients by immoral way. You know, they are abusing patients. They are not providing the good care for the patient. So at that point, I realized that why not if I be a nurse so as to correct this mistake.
When I feel someone who needs the help and I give him or give her this helping, it is feeling that I can't express, you know, but it's a good feeling that to help like people who most in need it.
Both activities, launched in March 2024, focused on palliative care. Throughout the year, 49 health professionals completed the full course of Introduction to Palliative Care, and 233 attended different workshops held at various facilities, including the Oncological Center, Prince Osman Digna Hospital, Port Sudan Teaching Hospital, Military Hospital, Al Mawani Hospital, and Port Sudan General Hospital. The Comboni Palliative Care Nursing Clinic is the first of its kind in Sudan. 64 patients were cared in the clinic, and 157 home visits were organized in order to support families with patients having terminal and chronic diseases.
Providing this care for the patient, for the first time, some patients is a surprise. You are coming to our house and provide this care. I said to him, yes, it is a free. Yes, it is a free. And this care for you just because you are you. We provide this because you are human. We want to give you this. You need this service. If you have no any cure, but we want you to be comfort. And I think some of them smile, someone says thank you. I think at that time the staff happy. When they go and see about 3-4, they don't tire because they do something, they know that they do something good for the patients.
كنت أعاني من مرض انسداد في المعدة. بحمد الله أجرت العملية يوم 5/8. أنا بقول لناس المركز هنا يعني يا ريت يكونوا على الدوام ويستمروا في الخدمة دي، ولأنه في مميزات كمان أنا اكتسبتها من هنا. هما ما بيميزوا بين عقيدة وبين كل شيء، ولا بين العرق ولا بين يعني كل شيء. الإنسان في مساواة. في النهاية نقول شنو؟ نشكر الله كل قلوبنا.
Since April 2024, 4 groups of volunteers have been trained to support the work of the clinic in the community. The total number of volunteers has already reached 233. They are Christian and Muslims, united by their compassion for those in need, working together to transform the community through their care and dedicated service.
When I have the cause and impact on my life, I start to look to all the people who are sick with different ways. And I was willing too much to help, to give, even to present help. It was something amazing for me to be as a Comboni palliative care volunteer, and I look forward to give all I have and to present all I can as being a Comboni palliative care volunteer and to achieve the core value of it.
Dealing with patients who are sick, it's good to treat them nicely, because to feel that yes, they are humans, because humanity always in our life comes first above all in life.
Ok, grazie. Sto cercando di... Abbiamo perso padre Jorge nel frattempo, so he's coming back. Hope you enjoyed the video. Now it's Father Jorge is coming back. Okay. Okay. Hello, Father Jorge. Welcome back.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, the electricity went and the fiber optics stopped for a while. Sorry.
We finished the video meanwhile.
It was very nice, the video, Padre Jorge.
Sorry?
It was very nice, this video.
Okay.
Okay, so it's my turn. I mean, I think I have to say something, right?
Yes, please. Yes, thank you.
I didn't prepare any speech, so I will talk with you like what I saw in this presentation of Padre Jorge, and this video, I think, show a lot how difficult it was to implement and to go on with this project. We made an assessment together. I remember with the presence of Geraldine and Alima since the beginning, before this project was financed. And the original idea was to introduce something that in Sudan doesn't exist. So mentorship and tutorship and a training of nurses with very high international level. The figure of the nurse for our health system, especially in Italy, is crucial. We can say that the health system is the nurse. But then we concentrate our effort for the first year for the new building, that the third floor should host this faculty of nursing, and to set up the team for the technical assistance and training on this. But unfortunately, 15th of April 2023, I think, the war came out in one day with a lot of surprise, and we remember, we still are in mind the reaction even of the diplomatic body that had to leave the country with the two forces, RSF and the SAF, fighting in the city. Unfortunately, our press, especially in Italy, cited this war only in that case. Every day we read about Ukraine, we read about Gaza, that are very, very ugly war, of course, but it's no news about what is happening in Sudan, at least in Italy. And I think this is very sad. Coming back to the project, I think that the presentation of Padre Jorge and the video show the resilience of this project. After the war, we had to suspend the activity, but I'm pleased to say that the Italian cooperation from Rome said, you have to go on, you have to try to adjust the activities and to try to do something useful for the country. And we move from Khartoum to Wed Madani, and then after this, as we saw, we moved from Wed Madani to Port Sudan. And it is beautiful to see in this video the volunteers, the teachers, the patient, and the energy and the professionalism they put to do something useful for the people in the so difficult situation, unbelievable situation. I been the last time in, I think was 1 month ago, and the situation is very critical for the people. But I want to see the good part And the good part is always that a crisis could be a very important opportunity to change something and to do something good at the institutional level. But Jorge cited a lot of hospital involved, a lot of authorities involved in this project, etc., etc. So this project is going to finish in this month. As AISPO and even with Comboni partner, we presented another project, is under evaluation, as a 3 years project that could continue this job already started. And for the job I do since 20 years, we have to be optimistic, we have to be resilient, and we have to always to see the good part. And hope to continue to help the people of at least of the Red Sea state, but even all around Port Sudan that want to participate to this training. And I conclude to say a big thank for the partnership with the Comboni institution, that it was great. And a special thanks to Geraldine, to Alima, and to Frida, our coordinator of the project, because even in these circumstances, they did a very, very great job. So thank you to everybody.
Thank you so much, Federico, Chiodi. And Father Jorge, if you want to add something, or I can give the floor to Friedablu, Danè.
No, go ahead with Frida, please, and then we ask the and thanks a lot, Federico, for your kind words.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shide. Thank you, Federico. Thank you, everyone. I will be very short. I think Father Jorge and Federico in the video that we saw just now already express the complexity of the project and the great achievements that were achieved throughout this project. What I want to underline is I think there is another small miracle that happened not only on the side of being able to move a project in another state, being able to keep the students together as a strong body, as a community, to recreate another community of volunteers, to strengthen the capacity of health staff in Port Sudan. I think all these already we underlined, and they can be acknowledged as miracles somehow. The other point is how quickly it was possible to insert the project inside a new environment. As we know, Sudan is a very big country, and it is very different in his communities across the land. So from Khartoum to Madani, maybe they were a little bit closer, and the people, they know each other better. From Khartoum to Port Sudan, I remember a sentence from Dr. Halima, and she told me, I feel like I'm in a different country. I feel so far. And I think this is important because the ability of the team to recreate the whole structure in a systemic way, as well as the ability that we can give to the authorities of the Red Sea state that were able to integrate something coming from outside and to accept it within their own system. I think it was a good opportunity to see the exchanges between different parts of Sudan communicating together. And this as an institutional level, and then breaking it down, we see it throughout the whole project. So we see the displaced working with resident communities. We see Muslim communities with Christian communities. So I think the project strength, we can say, is also in this putting into communication many different parts, many different communities. Another thing is the long-term and systemic vision. I saw throughout this year from December 23 until today how never we missed to look further. So despite now we are in an emergency situation and the war obliged us to look at the now, at the present, and not looking too far, the project was able to maintain a development vision. So to maintain and to support this drive that is also inside the students, inside the health staff, and all the people who participated in the project, giving them a sort of vision for the years to come, for the students to complete their bachelor, to in the future get a job, to maintain their professionalities, and so on. I think so that we need to underline how, despite the challenging circumstances, the collaboration, the dedication, the innovation were extraordinary results in this context. Thank you for all the Comboni College team, all the clinical staff, and thanks to AISPO to have pushed us in the time where we suspended the project, also to try to reformulate the project in different terms. And thank you all for the success that we faced.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution. And we would like to hear also Luca Rapone, if you want to share, please.
Thank you, Shide. Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, I'm very happy to be here today on behalf of Ambassador Tommasi, who could not attend because he's busy with another meeting, important meeting in Rome with our minister. So I'm also here on behalf of the ambassador, and I really would like to underline the huge work that the Comboni Institute did over this year and a half after the war started in Sudan. It was a very hard work, and I really want to highlight this point before going through my speech, my points, because I've been always in touch with Father Jorge, and I really know all the difficult times, the hard times that they had when they had to move the school and all the classes to Port Sudan. I was also in Khartoum when the war started, so I know the hard times that we had there, the bombings and the shootings. But you know, as diplomats and as international community, we were lucky enough to leave the country quite soon, after a couple of weeks. So we left. But the Comboni Institute, with its students, they didn't. So they really know more. They know what is the hard time that Sudan is living. Also, so I really wanted to underline this point in my starting at the beginning, because I never had the occasion so far to do it. So I'm very happy to be here, and I really want to thank the Comboni Institute for the huge work is doing in Sudan at the moment. And you know better than me that Sudan is going through one of the hardest times of its history. And this devastating civil war started in April 2023, which also freezed a fragile path towards democracy. We were working out as international and diplomatic community to reach some kind of balance between, amongst all the forces, all the political parties in Sudan. Unfortunately, we didn't succeed, and this war is now actually destroying the country, not only its infrastructures, but especially the youngest generations. And this is a very important and a very big issue. And we are therefore very, very happy that as Italian embassy, as Italian institutions, together with the Italian NGOs, the Comboni, and also in this case, San Raffaele in Milan, we are trying to do our utmost for Sudan. We are trying to help in the way we can. there is a very big problem at the moment because we are risking the loss of a whole generation with this catastrophic humanitarian crisis. You know, the international community is pretty much focused, and it is of course important to focus on them, but it's focused especially on Ukraine and on the Gaza crisis, and Sudan, it's a little bit behind the corner. So we are trying to push hard to remember that this is the worst humanitarian crisis in the world. And since there is a war in the country, any kind of projects related to health system, trying to help and to foster such a fragile sector, it's pretty much welcomed. And we are really pushing hard to do our utmost to help. The Italian embassy in Khartoum has always done its utmost in this field, and we strongly believe it is still and even more needed now because of the war going on. Younger generations, in our opinion, will take the lead soon when this war will be over. And when there will be peace, culture, achieving results with science and culture will be the basic for building a new Sudan. We have therefore never stopped co-financing projects and co-financing our partners through AISPO. And since Director Morana is not here today with us, let me just focusing a little bit, just a few sentences on the work that the Italian Cooperation Agency is doing. Of course, I will not go into the details because this is something they do, but on a political and wide range, I want to say that AISPO never left Sudan. When the war started, of course, we evacuated all the staff, but all our projects and the local staff, so the Sudanese staff, still are there and never left Sudan. We moved all our cooperation projects from the most critical areas like Darfur and Khartoum. We moved them to the eastern part of Sudan, which is the safest, still now, safest part. So Port Sudan, Red Sea State, Kordofan, Gedaref, and so on. And some of the projects that we had, we tried to turn them into new projects, especially focused on the health system, trying to provide assistance, trying to help the civilians, trying to help the population. Khartoum and Sudan in general has been always a priority for the Italian cooperation. Our budget, it's never enough, but it's big because we have around 100 million euros in cooperation projects in Sudan. And Sudan still now, it's on top priority in our cooperation policies. And I'm very proud to say that because it's the only tool we have at the moment, since on a diplomatic side, we are pushing hard for reaching a ceasefire between the two belligerents, a ceasefire that at the moment is not possible, at least in the short term. So the only thing as international community we can do is trying to provide some kind of help on cooperation on the humanitarian field. And even on this field is not easy at all, because as you might know, the two belligerents are not very helping. Sometimes also our operators are not, our staff it's not easy for them to access the critical areas. So it's a very hard work, but I'm very proud to say that the Italian Cooperation Agency never left. Also, the Italian embassy in Khartoum after the evacuation has been the first one amongst the Western countries to reopen, and we relocated all our offices in Addis Ababa, while all our other partners still were waiting in the capitals in Europe and also in DC. So we were the first ones, and the other followed us. We have been based now for 1.5 years here in Addis, following as close as we could the crisis in Sudan. Also, the staff for the Italian Cooperation Agency Sudan is relocated here, and we are trying to come back to Sudan at least for a few days. We are working on that at the moment, and we are really keen at coming and trying to see with our eyes, to come back again and in person on the ground, trying to do what we can. Also to push a little bit on the authorities, starting from Port Sudan, but also we are talking to the other, to the RSF people. I am also going a little bit more into the specifics of this project. I'm also very amazed to celebrate today the success of this project, because it's a project that, in my opinion, is very special, since it's practice-oriented and the medical formation is done under a tutorship and mentorship model, which is a model brought by San Raffaele in Milan and successfully implemented by Comboni, as always. It's even more delightful to celebrate it in such difficult time for Sudan, to be very honest with you, where best practices in health sector are so deeply needed because of this war. The Sudanese civil society is aware, I'm sure it is, of the power of science and culture in triggering complex transformations and for tomorrow well-being. With this regard, Italy is always ready to do its part. And also in the framework of our government's new vision, I think you've heard about it, in Africa, the so-called Piano Mattei, the Mattei Plan, we are keen at enhancing new partnerships with the academic and research world. I am therefore sure that through the success of the project, this work can become, why not, a model and a best practice for a better scientific cooperation between Italy and this continent. So Sudan, if we keep on working well as we are doing, can be a best practice for the whole continent. In conclusion, I wanted to be very short. Let me please thank, also on behalf of the Italian government, all the contributing institutions, and amongst them, again, notably, Comboni College of Science and Technology, specifically Father Jorge Naranjo, AICS, of course, Italian Cooperation Agency, Italian NGO AISPO, and San Raffaele Milan. Their efforts in the war give hope for a better future in Sudan, and I'm sure that also through this kind of projects, we can maintain a very deep and deeper in the future cultural and scientific cooperation with the country. And let me say, finally, that the cooperation and scientific cooperation can represent, even in the darkest time, the historical core for a new cooperation between countries. And I'm sure you can go on this way, and you will always find support of the Italian government and more specifically of this embassy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Father Jorge, please.
Myself, I don't have anything else to add in addition to a word of thanks, and I would like to mention concrete persons of the staff of AISPO that without them this project would not have gone ahead. I remember Wala Ahmed, Fatima Saleh, Abdu, Ali, in addition, of course, to Frieda here, and then Federico, Chiodi in Milan, Rebecca also from Milan. And surely I forget some persons. Also, Dr. Bakri, Harima is helping me, alhamdulillah. Dr. Bakri also was very essential in our work of mediating with the local authorities, as Frieda underlined. We were able to insert ourselves into this new reality thanks to mediators. And one of these key mediators was Dr. Bakri. No, Ali, I already mentioned. And if I don't know if there are any questions. Here we have a group of students, volunteers, staff. If anyone here or maybe online, they have any question or intervention, we can have 5 minutes if you agree, just for that.
We have some of the Comboni Italian Centers, the students also with us.
Do you have any question on Mudakhala? Ahmed Khali, the Hadith al-Rasmi. Yeah, they are smiling, but they are very shy. Yeah, we have one of the students who, for me, is particularly relevant because this is one who started nursing in Zalinje. That university was destroyed for the conflict, so he went to Awil. Awil, for those who do not know, is close to Wau. So it means west of South Sudan. There he knew about our program and he traveled from the west of South Sudan to the east of South Sudan to Juba and from Juba to Port Sudan. And he has something to say. Let us see. Fantastic.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to invite us to share in this essential meeting. I have an comment regardless our practice that we had in last weeks ago. So the comment that I had, I told it, I shared it with my friend, or ask a team to change and to try to change the nurse and the staff that they are practicing nursing in hospitals, and also trying to teach them that the ethics by our effort. So that's what we are looking for and what we are trying to do. That is my comment regarding the practice.
You see, the other one who is moving is the other one from Zalinje. You see, these poor people are very courageous. Eh?
Hello, everyone. Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. I thank and appreciate all Comboni College staff and their partners, especially AISPO. I appreciate them and I recognize the work that they are doing and the effort that they are doing it regarding our nursing and to help us so as to continue our educational journey. I appreciate them. And also something that I want to add to just regarding, you know, for us as students, we have to work hard and to convey the message of new nursing or updated nursing in Sudan in order to change the mistakes and the errors that is happening in the nursing. So as we as a student, we have to help you by these things, because when you are working hard so as to qualify us, we have to help you also by working hard. Yeah, this is what I want to add. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Tani. Now we have Samar. Samar, she took refuge in Meroe. She's one of the leaders of the groups of nursing. Samar Muzammil. Yeah. Yes, great.
Hey, hello everybody. I want to thank you all for all you did for us, and I want to thank every single person who had a hand on what we are here today. Actually, you did a lot for us, and we are so lucky to be a Comboni nursing student. and thank you a lot. Okay. I just had a comment about the clinical part here in Port Sudan Hospital and each hospital here in Sudan in general. So I think if you want to do a practice, we have to be in place that the staff working there have a full knowledge and full practice. So our problem were in hospitals was the staff were not so expert. Some of them somehow not cooperative with us. And the hospital itself, it's not like the standard that we studied. So that was the problem with us in the clinical placement. So we hope by the evaluation and our comment to be better and better in every year. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Max. Annie? So I think here, more or less, those who wanted to speak spoke. Yeah, maybe we can close the webinar.
Okay, great. Okay. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you, Samir, for your message. And I just want to conclude by saying that when I was making this video, I really enjoyed. It was difficult, but I also enjoyed. So I realized that was beautiful things have been done in these years, and despite of all the difficulties and the conflict and the problems that unfortunately we had in Sudan. So thank you again, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Even from my side, from AISPO, and was very, very fantastic pleasure to work together. I really wanted to thanks again Italian Cooperation, Italian Embassy in Khartoum, who spent a very important role on this project. So hope to go on to do something meaningful for Sudan. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Luca.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Friedablu. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Father Jorge.
Ciao,
Bye-bye.
Padre Jorge. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Now we can see you.
Bye-bye. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
I will be in Port Sudan at the beginning of January, so for sure we meet. Bye-bye.
Yeah, we will prepare the red carpet. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.